Marvel Superheroes is coming to MTG Arena, which I think is a big deal, so I wanted to talk about it a little bit here. Why is it a big deal? Well, a little bit over a year ago, Wizards announced that not all of their Universes Beyond sets would be coming to MTG Arena, and they would be making a special version, a digital-only version of each set called Through the Omen Paths, that is specifically for Arena and Magic Online and digital play, and then there would be the paper cards that had the Universes Beyond characters on them. The only set they did this for was Spider-Man. That set was very unpopular for a variety of reasons, but I don't think that this helped. The fact that if you played with the cards on Arena, you were playing with different cards, you weren't really getting into the same version of the set as when people were playing it in paper, and I think that that mental discontinuity, the fact that you had to learn two versions of the cards if you were playing Constructed, and especially in Draft, if you have to learn all these commons and uncommons that maybe aren't even relevant to Constructed. The fact that you have to learn two versions of the cards is a very big deal. As someone who makes videos about the set, it was really annoying to have to show both versions of the cards every time so that the digital people would know what was going on, the physical players would know what was going on, and overall it was a real annoyance and kind of the sort of thing that felt really bad as a fan of Magic the Gathering as well, because at least for me, it felt like the game was not being put on the same level as these other IPs. When there's a collaboration with something like Avatar: The Last Airbender, and there's clearly so much love put into each of the cards, and you get to play with the cards on Arena, and you get to be like, wow, they really did the flavor, they nailed it with this one. That feels really cool. But when you have this sort of IP that says, no, we don't want to give you the digital rights to the cards, or is maybe being unreasonable in that way, I don't know what went on behind closed doors, but it feels almost like Wizards or the people making these decisions were like, hey, we're willing to sacrifice like the gameplay experience or the clarity experience for the sake of collaborating with an IP because we think it's going to be very popular. And it just feels like, oh, we're trying to sit at the cool kids table instead of being like, yeah, Magic is pretty cool. We can be at the cool kids table on our own and collaborate with cool IPs. That's kind of how it felt to me. And so this is actually a big announcement for me. The fact that Marvel Superheroes is coming to MTG Arena. They're also bringing the Spider-Man set to MTG Arena. In case you were a big fan of any of the cards in Spider-Man, you'll get to play with the Spider-Man versions on Arena. And I think the fact that the set Marvel Superheroes is coming to MTG Arena is a big deal. The fact that you're going to get to draft with your favorite cards. You don't have to learn two versions of every single card. And it's kind of back to this even footing where it's like, okay, Marvel, a lot of people really love it. Magic, a lot of people really love it. Let's do something together where people can love Magic the Gathering, Marvel together. Instead of being like, wow, Marvel, people really love that. Magic, a little less cool. We're going to kind of glom on here and try to like extract some value from people. That's kind of, I think, maybe a little bit of the vibe I get when they don't get the digital rights. But now that they've got the digital rights, it feels really good. It's a whole different like vibe for me going into the set. Instead of kind of dreading like, how am I going to cover all of the cards twice? It's going to make everything really awkward. Like learning enough all of the cards for a drafter, which is like the format that I pretty much like exclusively play, like learning all of the cards is kind of like a hard thing for a lot of players that only draft a couple of times. And the fact that you kind of had to learn two different versions because you don't get that muscle memory of like, oh, I recognize the artwork, I can play my card now, I know what they do. The fact that you had to kind of read everything an extra time, and if you play digital and physical, it got really confusing. The fact that that's just kind of gone and solved with this set is a huge deal. I'm really, really happy about it. And I just wanted to share that with all of you. I think this is a big win, and I think it's worth celebrating the big wins. So that's going to do it for this video. If you made it to the end, leave hashtag super in the comments down below, because I think this is pretty great, and I'm excited for the superhero set now, when kind of before I was feeling a little bit of dread about just the fact that there would be two versions. This is a big announcement. I think it's great. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're excited for the set, and I'll talk to you next time.